guys, it's your pal Victor here from Cult Classics and Cult Following, continuing our travel log of interesting places you should visit when you're out and about in the world. And today we are at Green Acres Cemetery in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we are visiting the grave of WCW, ECW, and WWE Superstar Eddie Guerrero on the 15th anniversary of his death, which was November 13th, 2005. Today is November 13th, 2020. And I came here in 2007, and since then, this area where he's buried has become much more filled up. Originally, it had been said that superstar Billy Graham had taken the spot next to his, and that is not the case because there is a tomb here now right next to his. The biggest change, actually, since visiting, is his headstone is completely different. This used to be a really big double tombstone, and it was Eddie and his widow Vicky Guerrero shared a double tomb, and they had a really elaborate headstone with his picture on it and hers, and it was reserved for her grave. But since then, it has been changed to this smaller, less elaborate tombstone, and it's just his grave now. And people have already been here visiting for his grave. There's a couple of WWE Championship titles here. The World Championship, which he held in 2005 prior to his death, and the WWE Championship, which represents that title now, as well as, you know, some 40s and other objects of Mexican culture. I think the story of Eddie Guerrero is a really interesting one because he was one of the best wrestlers that ever lived, wrestlers in terms of performance, because wrestling is a performance art. But he had the charisma, the athletic talent, and that kind of innate it factor that made him one of the best wrestlers that ever lived. He succeeded everywhere he went. He had a lot of struggles due to drug issues, which he overcame, but sadly, he passed away from heart disease and an enlarged heart, largely due to the perils of wrestling, with HGH and steroids, and just the wear and rigor performing so much. Since his death, WWE physicals have become much more of a thing, and I think the bigger tragedy is how it leads to sort of the true crime story of Chris Benoit, fellow wrestler who was Eddie's best friend, and when Eddie died, Chris sort of lost kind of like his hinge on reality, and sort of was his anchor. These two guys who traveled the world together, and without him, Chris sort of just became detached. And if you've ever seen The Dark Side of the Ring, his widow Vicky tells about how he would just go to their house and hug his pillow and cry months after his death, which is just heartbreaking. I actually saw the two of them wrestle about 4 months before Eddie died at the original ECW One Night Stand. I saw Eddie and Chris Benoit wrestle each other. It was not the kind of mat clinic we were expecting. It was a good short match, but I remember reading that both of them were really unhappy with it, and I can only imagine that they would have had a much better match one day had circumstances been different, And but yeah, Eddie was always one of my favorite wrestlers. He was a great, charismatic guy. ECW was always my favorite federation, and it's sad, when people leave us early. When Eddie died, I think he was younger than I am now. I think he was 38, and I'm 41 now. It's crazy, but yeah, this is the new grave of Eddie Guerrero. I came to visit. I didn't even realize they'd ever changed his headstone. But yeah, this is what it looks like now. And rest in peace, Eddie. Arriba la raza. Fly, cheat, steal. I mean, those are negative things, but us Hispanics always turn it into like the positive thing it could be. And charisma goes a long way. I always like lowriders. So if you're ever in Scottsdale, Eddie's grave is super easy to find. You come in through the front entrance and you take the main road all the way to the back. Even when it seems like, oh, I'm going the wrong way, it curves and there's a parking lot by this mausoleum here. You park there and you see this building, right, this little mausoleum right here, which is right off the parking. Just walk from the parking lot straight to this mausoleum, and just like literally, it's like a straight line. It just comes right there. Super easy to find. I mean, I last time I was here was 2007, and I didn't even have to look anything up. It was really easy to find. And if you're looking for more grave spotting in this graveyard, you see that building right there in the middle. Looks kind of artsy. It's a columbarium, and inside are the inurned remains of Buster Crabbe, the original Flash Gordon. You can't actually visit it, but that's you can go up to the building, but you can't actually go and see like the columbarium for his remains. They're in a vault down there. But yeah, this is where Eddie Guerrero is buried. Kind of affecting, sort of like the Bob Kane visit. We'll have a lot more movie location visits, but sometimes it's, it's interesting to visit graveyards. And this one's really actually nice. It's very calm. It's actually a really cool, like, nice area where he's buried. But yeah, I think the biggest surprise is just this sort of like really simple headstone he has now. Was not expecting that. I kind of like the old one better, but I get it. Vicky probably does not plan to be buried here anymore, so it doesn't really make sense to have that. But there you go. Eddie Guerrero's grave is the 15th anniversary of his death, November 13th, 2005. If you want to see more interesting graveside videos, come visit us at cultfollowing.co and Cult Classics here on YouTube. Until then, see you later. Hasta luego.